so nice.
Well, the street that the pier is on, I live a block and a half from the ocean, basically.
Much cooler here than it is. Yeah, it's so hot. My car is like, and I'm pretty sure
Is
it's
it
from
so
the
hot?
heat. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Plus my car is getting old, so it doesn't like the heat as much anymore. We were living in La Mesa for a while, and now we just moved.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like, even from La Mesa to Lake Jennings, it's a huge difference in heat. And it feels very far away from everything.
Yeah. I know, La Mesa, you're like, it's just quick to get on the freeway and just go.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere is pretty close. We had a good deal in La Mesa, but it was too expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like $1,400 a month for 1 bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just too much.
Yeah.
Decisions.
I know.
So I'm going to Disneyland this Thursday.
I was just gonna ask if you are a Disneyland person, because I am trying to figure out how, because I have my Disneyland pass. I'm trying to go next Wednesday because it's my next actual day off. And,
Nice.
It's my favorite time.
Yeah,
Halloween
the
is
holidays.
The best.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, okay. Really, Christmas is my favorite time because I love how they deck it all out.
I've never gotten to go during Christmas.
Do you have your pass?
I don't have a pass.
Oh.
I want to get one, but since we're moving to Tennessee, we're probably not going to buy one this
When are you
year.
actually moving?
If everything works out according to plan, in January.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you can go in December, because I feel like, okay, after October or after Halloween, do they put Christmas immediately up? Isn't that what they usually do?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
We're just going to buy regular one-day tickets because otherwise it's too expensive.
Mhm.
We don't want to do the pay-per-month thing,
Yeah.
but eventually one day.
One day.
They're just getting really expensive, like,
And then once they open up the Star Wars land, it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
outrageous, I'm guessing.
but apparently they redid the Tower of Terror, so now it's like Guardian of the Galaxy themed, and there's going to be like a special Halloween version.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I have to go. I gotta go.
Excited.
I know. I was texting one of my friends earlier today because I'm like, I need to go. A couple of my coworkers like to go often, and one of
how
them, she
fun.
has to, yeah, like I'm off next Wednesday, and I'm like, I don't have any clients, I don't have any work, I'm like, I have to go. So I was texting one of my other girlfriends who, she also has her pass. She goes by herself. She'll just go to
Really?
Disneyland by herself.
That's cool.
Which I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'd be down to go by myself, but like, I'd like to go with my friends. And
Yeah, me too. I've been by myself before, and it's okay, but it's kind of lonely.
kind of lonely.
Yeah.
I know.
When I went by myself, though, I was working at Disneyland.
You worked at Disneyland?
Yeah, I did in college, because I went to college in, up north. So
What did you do at Disneyland? Tell me
I
all
ran the
about it.
rides at Fantasyland.
You did?
So Alice in Wonderland, the Teacups, Peter
Oh.
Pan, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride,
All the good ones.
Snow White. It was so much fun.
Oh my god, I bet.
It was very short-lived because I got fired.
What?
Yeah, it's really easy to get fired at
What
Disneyland.
do you mean? What did you get fired for?
It was so weird that I thought it was like pretty much just divine intervention, because it was like all these things worked out perfectly. So they have like everything on a point system,
Okay.
because people who want to work at Disneyland are a dime a dozen, and they need you to be there on time. They need you to be following the rules to a T, especially if you're running the rides, because they don't want to get sued for anything going wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a point system. If you get a certain amount of points, you're out just immediately. Well, one of the points is if you're late, and there was a day that my car broke down, which made me late. It doesn't matter if you have a reason, you still get points, even if your reason is a good reason. So even though my car broke down, I still got points. So that was my first points. Then, another day, I had training, was late. So our training didn't start until 2 hours later than it's supposed to start. And it takes a certain amount of time. So
Yeah.
because of that, we had to take 3 days instead of 2. And apparently the company won't let you take more than 3 days. So you have to take those 3 days only. Well, on the third day, I was sick and I had to stay home from work. But they didn't tell me at that time that because it was the third day, they wouldn't let me finish the training if I didn't show up that day.
That's not right.
Yeah, so basically I was sick and I couldn't finish the training. So that was the next strike because I didn't finish the training that I was supposed to finish.
Damn.
And then the last and final strike was I was working on the KC train railroad thing, and there's 3 things you have to check for. You have to check in your rear view mirrors, check your seats, check the sides, and check the light in front of you to make sure it's safe before you go. So I saw the light was green, I saw the sides were clear, the mirrors were clear, and I started to go. And as I started to go, the partner I was working with gave me a stop sign, don't go. And I was very confused, so I kind of paused, but then I saw the light was still green, so I continued. And then after that, she got really pissed at me. It was like, why'd you go when I put up a stop sign? And I was like, it was green, it was clear, you had done the thumbs up before, and everything was good to go. And she was like, no, I wanted you to stop. There was some reason or whatever, but it was not even a big deal. Anyway, so then she went and reported me to the people saying that I had went when I wasn't supposed to.
Oh my gosh.
And so then I had to talk with them and tell them all the 3 signs were clear, and they were like, yeah, but she gave a stop sign. And I was like, okay, but what I was trained was that you go when these 3 things are clear. And they're like, but you also need to wait for this. And I was like, I wasn't trained to that. And they were like, well, let's look in the handbook, and if it's in there, then you're held accountable for it, whether you were trained about it or not, because you're supposed to have read this handbook. Well, these handbooks are these 500-page books that tell you every single thing you need to know about each ride. And there's 7 rides I'm accountable for, so I'm supposed to read 500 pages about each ride. But they only give you 20 minutes to read through all of them, because the trainers are supposed to just train it to you anyway.
Yeah.
And you're only allowed to read the handbooks at Disneyland in this one particular room. So if you want to read all the handbooks that you're held accountable for, you have to take time on your break and read them, and they're huge. And most of it is what you're trained in.